Hello everyone, our new guest today is a teacher in Holar University, breeder of Lekamoti horses and recently appointed as the new national Icelandic team coach. Ísólfur Líndal is in the Third Tales podcast. Hello Ísólfur, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you.
Yes, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. Usually the way we start is we ask a very broad question, is that for the people who do not know you, there is a couple of people who might not know you. What is Ísólfur doing in his life?
Yeah, well, I am a horse breeder, horse person in generally. That's my life, being in horses, around horses. Been that way since I remember. I'm born and raised on a farm and
Right.
quite a big horse farm. So it wasn't really any other way to go really. I mean, they have had my mind and heart since I remember. So now, like today, I'm living in Skagafjörður. I am instructor in Holar University. Yeah. I am the Icelandic national team trainer. We have a big training station. We have around 40 horses in training.
Right.
And then my biggest achievement in life are, of course, my children and grandchildren. So I am also, it's horses and my family. That's what my life is about.
Yes.
These two things, really.
We saw one of your son on TV on Fantasy TV on Thursday, right?
Yeah, Guðmar.
Riding for Mr. Edalen. How was it?
It was amazing to see him. I was so proud. I was competing there 12 years ago, maybe, 3 seasons. That was amazing. Got some good results there, and that was amazing. I was super happy to see him ride on a track, and he has had that as his goal to compete in Meistaradeild since he was a baby, seeing his daddy there. So,
all right,
yeah, it was a big moment, and he did a decent show, I was happy with that. He's turning 20 this year.
Is 20 this year? It's like it's compared to. He's competing against some of the best riders in Iceland, right? So it's not a small feat to be a part of that table of riders, I guess.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we have their best riders in the world competing, and this arena is a little bit strange from other arenas that they are competed in. I mean, it's narrow. I mean, it is long and narrow. It's only 18.5 meters in width.
Wow.
So the corners and the short side are really short. So that gives extra features in it, and then of course, I mean, it is so. The promotion of Meistaradeild is very well done. I mean, there are 4 cameras on you all the time. Eilfaxi TV doing an amazing job. Meistaradeild doing an amazing job. And this is very important just in general for the Icelandic horse and Iceland. Marketing Icelandic horses and our amazing riders.
Yeah. I mean, this is an international show by any means, right? You see who's following it. We follow it every year. This is so it's a treat to see so good rider in that sense, and having your son, I guess, being part of it must feel amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's amazing.
You mentioned a bit. We talk a bit about your family. You mentioned your horse. Can you tell us a bit more about your breeding?
Well, my breeding is based on, we can say like three men, a lifetime of work. My grandfather, Ísólfur Líndal. Then my father was with him. Þórisson is his name. And then Hreinn Magnússon in Leysingastaðir. I mean, my breeding is based on their work, kind of taking taking the ball a little bit, getting good horses for them to start up, and it's based around that. So the background of our breeding mares today are either from Leysingjastaðir or from Lækjarmót, and actually in Lækjarmót now, which has been, Lækjarmót farm has been in the family since 1827, if I remember correctly. We are actually three people, or it's my father is breeding there, my sisters and her husband Sonja and Friðrik, they are living in Lækjarmót and running the farm, and then me and Guðmar and Spira, we have our breeding there as well. So it's like three families working,
And it's not the same name, right? Or is it under the same name?
Yeah,
it's under the same. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is cool.
Oh, and I'm getting that old that I'm now showing horses in breeding shows that I also showed the grandmothers or even great grandmothers in a breeding show when I was younger.
How does it feel?
Actually, it feels amazing, because if the more you know of the background, how the mother was, or preferably if you know the mother and the father, it is much easier to train the offspring. You know where to go, and when you see a yellow flag, you might have, come across it with the mother or grandmother or whatever, and had a little bump on the road, so you can avoid that bump because it's coming if you don't do this to prevent it. So that's kind of cool.
This is indeed something that maybe people who listen to us don't know. Is like the work of breeding it's knowing the horses and how you pair them, I guess, also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, if you know their background, at least you have opinion in your mind. It's not always correct, but in most cases, it speeds it up. But obviously, if you get a horse that you don't know anything about the background, it's not a problem.
No.
But it's super fun to work with a youngster that so much about the family.
And I guess it's funny in that sense that you start to feel like some traits of character are passing through the genes, through the breeding, etc.
Yeah. Both the way they look, the temperament, the gait, and then obviously when you start pairing individuals together, I mean, you are thinking about, this offsprings out of this mare, they are, a little bit straight in the body, so we have to, get a horse that is soft in the middle. I would not pair together, we can say, a straight body to a straight body, if you know what I mean. So,
yes.
So it has to, you want a little bit of softness, and then you might have a horse that is a little bit too soft. You need a little more firmness in the middle. Then you can pair those together, and So breeding is, breeding is really where I love breeding. I love to breed horses and work with the youngsters that we make.
Do you have a goal like every year, or do you have a long-term goal regarding your breeding? Like you want your horse, your part of Lækjarmóti to be like this, or known for a good character, good gait, or obviously I guess, or color or whatever?
Definitely not color. I don't think about it at all.
No.
Even though I find black horses are the best on the showground, but I don't mind. I don't mind the color, but in general, I just want them to be the best.
Okay.
One of the goals that I have as a breeder is to be the breeding farm of the year in Iceland.
Yeah.
They have been nominated a few times, but never won it. I want to win it.
How do you go about winning this? Is it like across multiple, the offspring that have been, I guess,
there is a really complicated system for it, but it is based on the breeding shows that year. Now we're in 2026, so it will be determined in how many horses make it to first prize, average score, and how many. And then they have a system to even out numbers between years. I mean, like let's say 4-year-old mares, they get plus 0.20 in the overall score. So they are all measured. The overall score all measured the same. So that is how that is done. And then you have also the horses with offspring. Mares that get honor prize or stallions that get first prize for offsprings or honor prize for offsprings. They also give points into this, and then it's all a big pile. And it's a complicated system. I'm not 100% into it how it works, but roughly it works like this.
Yes, I mean, and I guess as a breeder, your goal is bring as many first prize offspring as possible, and then you will be closer to the highest ranked farm, I guess.
Definitely, as young as they can be, with as high marks as they can be. That's really the recipe for it. Then in this breeding department, I also have a dream of winning, or a stallion from us from Lækjarmót will win the Sleipnir in Landsmót.
Yes.
That would be cool.
I hope you manage to fulfill that dream.
I hope so too.
We talked a bit about when we started. We own a Lækjarmóti horse. Just wanted to restate a bit the fact that gaits are amazing. But his brain, his character is probably one of the nicest horse I ever came across.
A big part of that that we still have in our part of Iceland is that our youngsters, 1 and 2-year-olds, we are still putting them into the highlands for 2 or 3 months in the summer, where there is absolutely nothing but wilderness, just horses from other farms. I mean, they need to learn how to behave around other horses.
Behave in a group.
Exactly. And they need to survive. I mean, occasionally horses don't come back. It's not often, but still, occasionally they disappear, and we can assume that they are dead then.
They're dead, yeah.
So there is still a little bit of selection, nature selection going on there. But they have to think, how am I going to pass this river? How am I going to jump over this stream here, this swamp here? Am I going to walk into it, or is there another way? Or over these rocks, how can I go over this without breaking my leg? They have to think. They have to use their brain to think how to, finish tasks. And so I think their mentality is getting a lot of motivation, in this young age, and also physically, strengthening, hooves, tendons, muscles. I mean, they are running for, a lot over the summer and have these amazing grass fields up there. So they're getting both really good and strong grass. And also exercise. So there is a lot of muscles building up there. So it's super good, and it is very sad, the development. I think that horses are more and more being raised in small herds, in fenced fields, and I think that is actually a lot of the difference. I feel there's a lot of difference between Icelandic horse born and raised in Iceland or in the mainland, for example, because in many cases, most cases, they don't have this opportunity in Europe, since the land is very valuable and hard to get. I mean, it's not an option. So I get this feeling that there is a difference in that between horses born in Iceland or in the mainland.
And you think that plays also in their temperament, their character in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, they have to have courage, They have to think to, down below their feet. If they are raised on rather flat surface with a fence guiding them on the outside, they don't need to think so much about where they're putting their legs down. So just that factor, I think, has a lot of effect on the way that they are thinking and evaluating circumstances.
Right. Just for me to know, like when you say herd, how many horses you're talking about?
Well, there are rather few now. I think there were like 350 heads this summer.
Oh, all right.
But when I was young, we were having 1,000 horses there. Or like the farmers in the area of Lightfoot, I think.
Yeah, you all combine them, right?
Yeah,
you all combine them. Yes.
Yeah, yes. So it was like 800 to 800 plus minus. That was every year. I mean, that was something to see that.
And you send them over the summer, and that's what we see in September when you get them, right?
Yeah,
you ride them home. This is also impressive. Yeah, I need to agree on. It sounds amazing for a horse to live like this and to grow like this. I can see one individual. He has the nicest mind we ever met, I think, in terms of just like. He's not scared neither, He doesn't spook easily. He's just like, well, that's just that, There is a pheasant running. Like, there's a pheasant. That's it.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's also it's individual, but
for sure.
However their temperament is, from genetics. I mean, being raised in this environment at least gets them stronger for mentally and physically for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's not like just put them on the highland and they won't be afraid of anything for the rest of their life. It doesn't work like that. But they at least are getting motivation and training and thinking.
Yes. So you're doing breeding. We're gonna go through all the career that you have. Breeder is part of it. Mm-hmm. But in general, what is how a week of Ísólfur looks like?
Oh. A week. Well, I normally go 2 full days teaching at Holar University.
Okay.
Then I am training horses here at Staðarhof, where we have our operation now, and basically then I mean there is some preparation and little work. It's not so much work now with the national team. Just a few phone calls here and a little messenger, but that will be more in the summer and selecting the team for the Nordic Championships. So that's just basically it.
Yeah, like teaching and but almost teaching is like holidays then, no? You're off. You're not taking care of your horse then at that when you're going to teach in Holar.
No, we have staff with us.
Right. Okay.
Trainers with us. So they are getting trained and taken care of. I am more like the one that is a little bit coming and going. Guðmar, my son, he is the main trainer, or has supervision over everything in the stables.
Yes.
And when our little one goes to kindergarten now next month, then my fiancée Spíris, he will also start to come more into the training.
All right, it's definitely family business.
Definitely.
Yeah. And your son Guðmar is the next in line, I guess. Is gonna the plan is taking over. Or
we have already started working on that. I mean, he's gonna step more and more in. Taking more and more of the heat, we can say.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be more and more, like next winter. I'm going to be more and more focused just on our youngsters, training of them,
right?
And he's going to go more and more into taking over the business part of it.
For a breeder, maybe my next question is a bit weird, but when is the last time you bought a horse?
Oh, last week.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Can you tell us why?
She is after our Sindri from Lækjamóti. It's a amazing stallion that we have, and she came here for. Young horse training. She's only 3, turning 4 in the spring, and we just like her. She looks amazing. She moves amazing. So, we just did a good deal on her with the owner, and so we own her now. I see a lot of potential in her. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a breeding mare or a competition mare or that we will. Sell her eventually. I mean, future will just have to tell, but she is promising. That is always the starting ground. You have a good-looking and promising young horse.
Yes. And you buy a horse every so often, or it was one in many years?
Yeah. We get ownership over horses regularly, either part ownership or full ownership. Make some deals.
Your teacher, if I'm not mistaken, you were studying in Holar, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about what are you teaching in Holar? And
well, at the moment, I am the head teacher. I don't know what the right word for it is, but let's say head teacher for the second year.
Okay.
The students that are in second year, we have because we have a new system. There is one head teacher over first year, one over second year, and one over third year. And then obviously Mette Manset is the head of everything. So I'm taking care of the second year. And there is young horse training. They do a lot. Yeah, they do a lot of young horse training. Just get untrained youngsters and get them rideable and stuff like that. And then
what is the format? You hand over youngsters, and that's one of their projects
they get
to start them.
We just advertise. This is very popular actually here in Iceland to get horses into this program. We get. Usually horses that are going on the fourth, winter, next spring gonna be 4-year-old, sometimes 5-year-old, and they should, know how to lead and be like have this young horse introduction to humans. So they're not like wild. And they, in the autumn they need to train 2 of those. They get a lot of teaching. They don't. We can say like touch them without an instructor with them. In spring they get 1, and then there is a lot of they are not getting as much teaching, so it's kind of testing them a little bit more.
What do you mean it's popular?
It's a super good young horse training system that we are using, and it most of the time is a really nice outcome out of it. And it is very cheap also.
I was about to say, I guess there is a win there. It's like they don't pay.
They just pay for upkeep of the youngster, not for the actual training.
Yes, right. This is such a great system. So every year you have you select horses, then you send them to. Oh wow, okay.
So now, like on the second year, we are only having 13 students. So it was like 26 youngsters in the autumn.
Okay.
But there's a lot going on when we have, let's say, 23, 25 students. We are having, almost 50 youngsters coming in at the same time. There's a lot of action going on then.
Yes, a lot of action. The word action is loaded here. I feel it's like there's a lot of shit happening.
I try to prevent shit to hit the fan as much as we can. But obviously we are having youngsters that have no knowledge about horsemanship. They only know how to be a horse. So that's a tricky part in teaching. Maybe students that have never trained a young horse. That is always, so much fun to see how they are. Reading the young horse, teaching them how to read the young horse and evaluate what's going on with the horse and stuff like that. It is very, very interesting.
And your role as in charge of the second year is to make sure that the program around teaching young horse is the right one. You have other teachers that you work with, etc.
Yes. I have one other teacher with me in the young horse training, and yes, stick to the program. And then obviously, we sometimes have horses that don't fit exactly into the program. Then we just do a little, go a little bit in a different way with those horses. Just like if you were having a training station, you get a bunch of youngsters for training, and the majority of them can just stick to this program and the speed of it. But some horses really need longer time, then they just get a longer time, and that's what we do also in Holar.
At the end of the day, this is an animal. So obviously, if you do 6 weeks training and then the horse is not where you want to do, you maybe stretch it.
That's exactly it. And I mean, we need to tune into the horses. That doesn't really matter on what states of training they are. We need to tune into them. They, and do it in a speed that is healthy for them. The type of horses that are very slow, not reactive a lot. They also need a totally different approach. They need a different type of stimulation.
Yes. You were in Holar, now you're teaching in Holar.
Yeah.
What is? Do you see a difference? Do you see the evolution of Holar?
Absolutely, there is a lot of development going on in skills, in riding, understanding the horse. We are getting better, but oh my God, do we have far to go still? I mean,
yes.
There is so much that we don't know, that nobody knows. Science, that's another part of Holar University. We have a lot of scientists that are measuring and doing research about all sorts of stuff, and it is so interesting. The things that they are thinking about, and can we measure this? And if it's possible to measure it, that could lead us in, as a breeder or a trainer into different directions. There's a lot of interesting things that they have been and are working on.
Let me ask you. It's very interesting what you're saying. I think it's very. I would like to ask you a question around that. It's like the science, like people, researcher looking at things. How can we improve, etc. It is something bringing new knowledge, etc. But Iceland, like you as an Icelandic man, riding horses since many years, coming from a family of Iceland, you have also the heritage and the tradition. This is how we train horses. This is how we take. Like, how do you marry those two? Like, do you feel you manage to have both of the take both of the world
yes.
or?
I believe so. Many of the things that have been checked, like numbers put together in the breeding show, and there the science, for example, and all these valuations there are supporting some kind of a belief that or a feeling that you have had or my father had before. Don't know why. But this works. If the let's say the back line is like this, you have more risk of getting that type of behavior
of
or movement from the horse.
And
then science comes and says, yes, if you have this, this is then there is a weakness there, or if it is like this, you have the strength and etc.
Yes.
So I think science of experience and actual science where things are measured, they most of the time are talking the same language.
20 years ago, your father, your grandfather were we know that when the horse is like this, we train it like this, and science is coming. It's like, well, absolutely, yes. It's now they put more precise number maybe, but this is the same idea behind it.
Yeah, I think in many cases we are getting that experience, but also, I mean, in the last 30, 40 years, the development in training horses and the knowledge that we have about training horses has changed dramatically.
Yes.
Dramatically.
And the horses, it's a question that we ask most professional, like James or Niels Christian Larsen, etc. Like if you look back at your horse that you had in Holar, and the horse that you give today that your student work with, do you feel there is a gap also in terms of quality of horses or temperament of horses, or you feel it's pretty steady?
It's definitely development. The breeding has taken a big jump forward. Well, size, conformation, temperament, gaits, everything. They are getting easier and easier to handle. They are getting easier, getting into gates, getting into balance on the gates. They are getting better, younger. So I think one of the biggest challenges for trainers today is not to do too much.
Right.
Because the horses are so open-minded and they are so good, balanced from nature. They have such a good temperament and gait from nature. If you're not careful, you can kind of, finish them. We can say it like that. They are so willing and so offering. If you take too much,
you close them,
and then they start to get tired or sore or whatever somewhere, and that goes to their head, and then they don't want to work for you anymore.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's my take on that. I mean, you have to be careful not to do too much because I mean their bones haven't stopped growing. They are not fully matured physically, in any way really. When you start training them and riding them when they are, in the year that they turn 4 and 5 and 6 actually, they haven't fully matured. So you have to be careful that you don't overdo it, even though they are volunteering for it. You still have to put in the time in, do stuff from the ground, do different training without a rider, for example, and just let them rest, have rest days in the week. Don't train them 5-6 times a week. I mean, most horses that we have that are like 3 and 4 year old, we don't ride them with a rider on board more than 3 times a week. That's the max.
Okay, and the rest is either break, like pause, or they rest, or you work from the ground.
Work from the ground, launching work from the ground, or a break, or take them out just running freely with a group.
Yes.
So as I say, I mean, with a rider on board, max 3 times a week.
Yes. Okay.
I don't want to get them tired physically, because then I mean, my take on young horse training is just train a horse in general is you are training a behavior.
Right.
If you get the mind, you get the body. You can teach a horse if you're just well enough on point with the reward. You can teach a horse anything, and of course there is a limit on how much each horse can do. My belief is you have to think of everything that the horse does as is a behavior.
Right.
Whether it is turning to the left, going on tuft, stopping, going, doesn't matter what it is. It's all a behavior. It starts in the brain. The brain needs to think about it, evaluate it, and do something about it before the body moves. So you're working with the brain. You get the body for free if you work with the brain. That's my take on that. So when they are this young, let's say it like this. I don't want them to be written into shape, strength.
Right.
You need to do that in other ways. When you are riding a young horse and training a young horse, you are only thinking about the mind, selling them ideas, get an answer. That strengthen that behavior. Then with time comes muscles, obviously, but get them in running shape, like have them running free, not with a rider. Have them running in some way without all this weight on their back.
You're not trying to solve like it needs to be at the vertical. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about what is happening in his brain type of.
Yes.
We usually say he needs to think forward. Is it something that you will agree with that? Like, yes, you need to think forward. Yes, you need to think positively.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's a behavior. Thinking forward and being positive is a way of thinking. So
yes,
reward for that. Then the horse will try to do more for you. Override the horse and get it physically tired. They don't want to run faster or be quicker on the legs, because then they just get tired. They need to get something out of it mentally. So they want to do it. Why else would they do it?
Yes, yeah, it's a good question. And then after, I guess it's a matter of like when they are 5, when they are 6, when they are 7, then you work with the shape, the top line, the frame a bit more, I guess.
Yeah, well, we work with the shape and frame and everything and gaits and everything when they are the youngest ones, the 4-year-olds.
Yes.
I mean they do walk, trot, canter pace and shape and everything. But obviously, the more they mature physically, the stronger they get, and there's a huge difference between 4 and a 5-year-old, and then 5 and a 6-year-old, because of then the bones are finishing in growing, for example. Right. So there's a lot of change happening in them, and they have stopped also just growing in height or length, and all of that stuff is done. I mean, there's a lot of energy from the body of the horse going into the horse just maturing physically.
Yes.
So yes, obviously it's gonna increase just in, we can say, like rhythm with the how the horse ages and matures, and obviously also a big part of this is that you are feeding the horse properly. I mean, they need their proteins, they need their minerals, and they need good hay. I mean, they have to have the vitamins and everything necessary to build up muscles.
Do you teach that in Holar?
We cover pretty much. I mean, we have doctors in how to feed the horse. We have doctors in anatomy. We have the very educated, highly professional teachers in Holar, not only for the riding part, but also just everything around the horse.
Do you have a system that you like to use?
Well, the general rule, we can say, if you can't do it from the ground, the horse can't do it when you're on their back.
Okay.
So, take your time from the ground, get the understanding there, then you can expect it to happen when you go on board. I mean, let's say if your horse is insecure or tense from the ground, it's very likely he will be that when you go on top of him.
Yes.
So for example, there, I mean, you need to do the groundwork, get understanding there, and so you have also like some exit point when you go on top and there comes some tension. You can go into, well, let's just say on a small circle or even a kissing stirrup position, to neutralize the circumstances so it won't escalate into something dangerous either for you or for the rider or for the horse. And then you have to have, taught the horse kissing stirrups, for example, from the ground. Have a system. Maybe too long of a discussion to do here, but I have written a book about my system, so that is available somewhere. And then obviously we are working with that system and just the system that is taught in Holar. I mean, that is just what we are doing also at home. Otherwise, I mean, if we wouldn't believe in it, we couldn't teach it.
It's a fair point. Just a small question: when you say walking from the ground, this is lunging, or this is more than just lunging?
No. I'm more thinking about what lunging is one thing. Working from the ground, in my mind, is like you have the reins, up, and having the horse walking around you, teaching them on the bit, and teaching them to yield from pressure and etc. That is working from ground.
You mentioned you wrote a book.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it to write a book? Why did you write a book?
Well, my general idea was, at that time, I was traveling a lot around the world teaching.
Yes.
So I was thinking it would be good for my students, in whatever country they were, to have sort of like a manual of how I want the aid to come there and do this and that. So originally it was just like I thought of it as like a cooking book.
Yes.
You want to teach the horse shoulder in, and then you just go, okay, page 36, and then you have the recipe for that. So that was my take on that. The other reason was, at that time I was aiming for doing master test, FT, to be a training master.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had to make some material for that.
Okay, like a thesis or something like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the second reason. I was accepted for it, and I was aiming for it, but then the horse I was going for it got sick. So that didn't happen, but that is still on the agenda to do now. I wrote the book 2016, so 10 years later, I haven't done it yet, but still on my way for it. But also, I have a homepage, isonline.is, which has these videos, 50 videos or so, training videos. So I also have that. I like to put stuff out.
Is there a second book? Did you thought about a second book?
Yeah,
why not?
I've thought about it, definitely. But at the moment, I have even started on it 3 times, I think. There has been a lot going on in the personal life for the last 5 years. So it has definitely far down in the priority list at the moment.
You have a toddler, and you it's good to get busy also on top of it, I guess.
You need to be busy so your mind stays focused.
Yes, yeah. I always say, learning new things, get your brain activated. This is what gets you young. Nothing else. But you didn't say entirely no to a second book. Then.
No. I have a file here in my computer, with some ideas.
You mentioned briefly that you were training in many countries. Are you still going out of Iceland?
No, I'm done with that. The airports and airplanes and train stations and hotel rooms,
it's a life on its own, right?
It's a life on its own, and I think that is extremely boring and a little bit waste of time, and I don't like wasting time.
But you training in Iceland, for instance?
I'm teaching in Holar, and
you, yes, for sure.
So that is very, pretty much satisfying my need of teaching. But I also have this clinic here for Hvanneyri. It's called Reyðmaðurinn. I'm teaching that also on weekends. So that is definitely enough of teaching for me.
Okay. Yeah, you scratch the itch of teaching enough in that sense.
Yeah, and then then I have my riders, preparing for competition, and now I'm looking into the riders, obviously, in the national team. So that type of stuff is, I find interesting, very interesting. More like this coaching type of thing, not going like directly into teaching, just come with some ideas, and then people just go and do their thing, and then we check on it again and see if it has improved and where to go next. Not like exactly teaching how to do a leg yield, but your horse maybe it should be better in the leg yield here from your right leg, and then I will see you in 2 weeks and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's dive into that. So I think it was in last December that you will be in the head coach for Iceland. Is it the title?
The coach for national team, yeah.
The coach for the national team. What does it mean for you to become that?
It is a great honor for me to get this opportunity.
Yeah,
definitely. And I have a lot of. I'm very enthusiastic about the national team, and just in general for the Icelandic horse. It's all connected together, and
it's
for
all connected,
Iceland
yes.
and represent Iceland abroad. I mean, there is Yeah, many things that it does for me, and also definitely a challenge. It's a new thing, it's challenging, it's terrifying, and in one way, so it's good. It's good to have a challenge.
Yeah. Can you explain for me, first of all, but maybe for the people who listen, like, what is your responsibility in that role?
Well, select the group, like I have done. I select the group. And then when time comes, select the group out of that group that goes for Nordic and also World Championships.
Okay.
Like I have a feeling for where they are in the development of the horses. Go look at them at competitions. Be in communications with the riders. Help them to get these last 5 to 10%.
Yes.
And also, like, we have like this education or lecture evenings for them. It's my job to come with find people, good people, to come and tell them their research and outcomes, out of this and that. We have already had one of this. There we had two vets coming. One was talking about the mouth, teeth and bit in the mouth, and what this and that can do to the rein contact, for example, and make sure they don't have broken teeth and all that stuff.
Oh, wow!
And then the other doctor was talking about lengthening the muscles. Why do we need this long top line and underline and muscle connection to the bone structure and stuff like that? It is deep stuff,
Yes, I can see that. Yes,
and obviously it has to be that for this group of writers. I mean, these are highly professional writers that are on top of their game. I mean, maybe it's just for refreshing their minds. Maybe some stuff that I bring to them is new. So I find that very interesting.
Is it for the senior team or it also touched the young?
I'm for the senior team.
The senior team.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it just helps also, when you are training a horse, one of my purposes is fresh eyes.
Yes.
Maybe I can come with some pointers for them that is like, oh, I haven't thought about this angle before.
Yep.
And that might change a little bit for them. They might benefit from it. That's my goal. That's my hope, that I can bring something to the table for everyone and they benefit from it.
Yep.
But yes, I actually was on a clinic from a Norwegian woman that is specialized in training riders.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was in Holar for the students and for us instructors. That is, I mean, we have gotten so far in riding and we've gotten so far in breeding and training horses. I actually think this is the next big step. I actually, there is a long time since I have been this impressed about something.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to see the result, I guess.
My angle of these education days or lectures, one part of it is coming with some pointers, hopefully eye openers from the horse, how to work with the horse or take care of the horse.
Yes.
And then the other one is especially the mentality of the riders.
Right.
Sport psychology, for example, different angles with that. I mean, how do I deal with stress, anxiety? How do I deal with when things don't go my way? How do I deal with when they go my way? There's one thing to deal with when you feel like you have lost. That's one thing. But there's also how do you deal with when you win? You also have to think about that. That the mentality, strengthening them. So when the time comes, they have some tools, they feel the anxiety coming, they are not, insecure in some way, that they have some tools that some professional have provided to them. and I'm hoping to be the link there in between.
Maybe before leaving you, one tiny question. Maybe it's tiny, maybe it's not tiny. I don't know. Where do you think the Icelandic horse world is going in the coming years? You know, how it evolves, where it maybe needs to evolve.
Well, like I mentioned a little bit before, I think the next big step that we are starting is to be better in training riders,
right,
and be better riders. I think that is the next big step, and that is gonna develop so much more the horses with us.
Right.
You know, we even our top level riders, doesn't matter on what level they are, but you know, since we have had the focus a lot on the top level riders here, they are crooked. And in many cases, the crookedness of the rider is creating some crookedness in the horse. I mean, one shoulder lower than the other.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
You know, it doesn't have to be extreme. You know, an untrained eye might not see it, but the horse feels it. The horse feels everything. I mean, we are sitting on the back. We are most of the time, or almost all the time, in contact through the seat. So if we are leaning one way, you know, it is affecting the balance and the balance point of the horse, and they have to adjust to it and go in some crookedness, physical crookedness, to you know, so they won't fall or lose balance.
Yeah, to catch. To catch.
Just like, I mean, if you're riding, let's say, and you lean your head to the right, your hip is going to the left. Okay, so let's say you are leaning to the right on top of a horse. The horse needs to balance it out with leaning some way. And then you go, why is he always going through the left shoulder?
True.
Because probably, it's not sure, but probably because the rider is crooked. I think this is the next big steps. Next big step in the development of training and riding the Icelandic horse is this. Obviously, horses are also crooked by themselves, just out in the field. I'm not saying all of this is due to crookedness in the rider, but definitely some of the things that we are dealing with in training and in competition is because we are, you know, the rider is crooked and creating unbalancedness in the horse.
And that you feel like it's something that we need to do better almost, or we need to train better in that sense?
We need to do it better. Absolutely. We need to be better in that.
Is it the type of thing that you're going to push towards, like in the coming years, maybe in Holar or with the national team, for instance?
Definitely. Holar University is already starting this journey with a very big focus on that. So I really, you know, say to riders that have been thinking about going to Holar, you know, now is the time to go, because we are adding this to the study in Holar. So apply in the spring, definitely. I am planning on taking this with the national team.
Right. Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, thank you, Ísólfur. It's been a bit more than an hour that we are talking. I hope it doesn't feel too long.
It's been fun. I usually don't have any issues with talking.
Thank you, Ísólfur, for coming, and thank you everyone for listening. We will come back very fast with a new episode. In the meantime, do not hesitate to share this episode. Before leaving you, we would like to mention that you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Please visit Ísólfur's website. We're going to put the link. Go and apply in Holar as well if you want to improve your work and know how to be a better rider. Thank you so much, Ísólfur, for talking to us.
Thank you.